Have you ever wondered how to solve a Rubik's Cube? Well, in this edition of Dan Can, I'm going to show you how to solve the Rubik's Cube in about 20 minutes. If Dan can, you can too. So, the first thing you want to do is go to Rubiks.com and download the 3x3 solution guide. Okay, this is the Rubik's Cube 3x3 solution guide. This will tell us how to actually solve the Rubik's Cube. So, let's just take us step by step. Now, the first thing it wants to do is tell you about the different parts. Okay, now we have a Rubik's Cube here. And what it wants to show you is the edge pieces. Okay, these are the edge pieces. The edge pieces have two colors, white and green on this side and white and orange on this side. So any piece in the middle that is not a corner, that has two sides, is an edge piece. Okay, then you have corners. Those are right here on the corner. They have three colors or three sides. And then you have the center pieces. Now the center pieces do not move. Okay, so white is here and opposite of white is yellow. It's always opposites. Orange is always opposite of red. And green is always opposite of blue. Okay, those center pieces do not move. As you move the cube, the centerpiece always stays in that place. Okay, so this is always the blue face. And this is always the orange face. Okay, so first steps, get to know the cube. Okay, now the other way to know it is the steps. Okay, this is the right face. This is your right side. This side is your left face, so you'd move it that way. Your front face is right here. Front face. Your rear face is in the back face. And then you have your top and you have the bottom. Okay, so that explains how to do that. And it also shows you the arrows. Hey, you take your right up or you take the right down. You take the left up or you take the left down. Okay, and it shows you how to do that. Okay, then it shows you how to hold this cube. Okay, and I like to hold the cube and just put my thumb right on the center and look at it and say, okay, I'm looking at the blue face. Okay, well now, when your cube is all messed up, you won't know which side is which, but the center never changes. So if you want the white to be in your center, then you put your thumb on it and say, that's my face. If you want the blue, then you put your thumb on and say, that's my face, and then you can change. Okay? Okay, now we have it all messed up. Okay? And we need to fix it. So the first thing we want to do is get a white cross. This is the white face, and so we want to get the white cross going like this. Now the trick, though, is that this needs to be white, and this side needs to be green to match the center. Okay? This side needs to be white here, and this side needs to be red to match. Okay, just like here. Okay, so let me show you how you do this. The instructions show one way. I'm going to show you a little different that I figured out. Okay, so we are trying to get the center pieces. So these are this cross. So these are the edges. All right, so we're going to look for any edge piece that's white. And here's an edge piece that's white and it's red. Now the trick is to get all the white, put the white on the bottom. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is turn this up and then turn it down. And as you notice, my white is now on the bottom and my red is here. But I want this red to match the centerpiece. So I'm going to turn the bottom all the way around. So now my red matches and my white is here on the bottom. And then I'm going to turn that face all the way up. Okay, and now I have a white and a red that matches the red. Okay, so that is correct. All right, so now we just need to do that 3 more times. So here's a blue, and I'm going to, let's get it out of the way so we don't mess up that red. But so I'm going to take this white, and I'm going to turn it to the side, and then I'm going to turn the other face down, so that moves it down. Okay, so now I have a blue and a white on the bottom, just where I want it. So now I'm going to turn that blue around until it matches all the way around. And so now my blues match and my white's on the bottom. And I'm just going to turn that face all the way up. And now I have blue that matches and I have white that matches. And I have my red that matches still. And wow, look what happened while I was doing this. The green actually works now too. So all I need left is the orange. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes as you're doing the process, it skips a couple of steps. All right, so here is my white that needs to go over here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take it down and then turn it. And then I'm going to fix it and put that one right back up so I don't mess up the blue. Okay, so my white's down here on the bottom now, and I'm going to turn it until it matches my orange, and then the face comes all the way up. Okay, now there's my cross. Okay, so now I have this cross. I have the white cross, just like they said, that was my goal. I have it done. Okay, and that's the rest of the instructions on how to do that. And I skipped part of that, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay, now the next step is to work on these corners. Okay, we got to get the white in the corners. Okay, now what if you see here, what it shows is the first thing you want to do is you want to say, okay, I need this white one here, but this corner needs to be green on this side and red on this side and white on the top. And I find that, and then I put it right down here on the bottom. Okay, right below where I want to put it. Okay, so I'm going to find a green and an orange. There's a green and the red. And here's the green and the orange right here at the top. All right, so I'm going to turn that down and get it on the bottom. Turn that back up, and now it's here, and I just need to put it right below this one. So I'm going to turn it around. Okay, it is now right here below this spot where it needs to be. No, sorry, one more over. There we go. Okay, now it's right where it needs to be. Okay, don't worry about this one. That one's going to go away. This one is the one that needs to go here. And we're going to look at the instructions. And the instructions say, if the white is on that side, follow the first row. And if the white is on the right side, like it is, then follow the second row. And if the white is on the very bottom, then follow that third row. Okay? And if the tip is make sure it's in the underneath on the bottom. Okay, so our white is right here on the right. So I'm going to follow this row here. And it simply says to turn the right face down, to turn the bottom face to the left, and turn the right face back up. And voila, it moved into place. Okay? So now we're going to follow that 3 more times. Okay, so we have a white, a green, and a red. So let's just move that into place. I know that the green's over here and the red's over here. So here it is. So I moved it down into place right below where it needs to be. And this time the white is on my front face right there. Okay, so we're going to follow that top row. So we're going to move the bottom face to the left. We're going to move the right face down. The bottom face over and back up. And there it is. Voila. Okay, so now that corner is done. And it looks like one of the other corners was done as well. So we skipped another step there. And so we have just this last one. And here's the corner. And we're going to move it over and put it right in the spots. And, okay, now this one is on the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to follow this bottom row. All right, so it says to move the right face down, the bottom face over to the left once, twice, the right face back up, the bottom face back to the right face down, bottom face to the left, and right face back up. And there it is. We now have all 4 corners and the white is done. So if you look at this first whole row is completely done. And it matches the center. Okay, so we've completed this goal. Congratulations, we're moving on to the next step. Okay, the next step is to get that second row, right? We want that whole second row done. Okay, and at this point in time, we turn our whites from being the top and we turn it over and we make it the bottom. Okay, so now our bottom row is done. We're trying to get the second row and we're going to work on the second row in this step. So we're going to look for any centerpiece that's not yellow. Okay, now this one is not yellow. This one's an orange and a blue, and ultimately it would go right here. So knowing that it goes this way, we're going to follow the instructions here. Now the trick though is to make sure that you have the T in all 3 colors. Okay, we have a blue and 2 orange, so that's not going to work. Okay, if we put that in, then we'd have the blue on this side and we'd have the orange on that side and it wouldn't work. So we need to turn this top. Okay, now we have a blue, all 3 colors, orange here on the top, and it's going to go into this side, so go to the left. Okay, so now really we need to follow the bottom row. Okay, so following the bottom row, that's going to move this orange and blue one over to this section right here. Okay, let's show you. All right, so move the top face to the right, move the left face up, move the top face back to the left, and the left face down. And then the top face to the right again, and the front face to the right, top face back, and the front face, we put it back. And there you can see our orange and our blue has moved from there to here. All right. Now we're going to look up here on the top again and look at these edges and say, okay, which one does not have yellow? Okay, that one has a yellow, that one has yellow, that has yellow, so only this one. Okay, so we can only work with this one right now. This one, we need to turn it over to the red and say, okay, the red's here and it's blue, so it needs to go to this side. Okay, so we're going to take this one and we're going to put it here, and that one's going to come back up to the top. Okay, so again, it's going to go this way to the left. So again, we're going to follow the left, and which is this bottom row. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we move the right face over, or top face to the right, the left face up. Okay, now you can see we moved that one right there into that corner. Okay, so we've got that one completed, and the other one that was there now popped up, and it's right back here on this edge. Okay, so we're going to move that to the green. So we have our 3 and 3. Okay, it's orange, so it's going to go to the right, which is right here. So we're going to follow that this top row. Okay, so following the top row, we're going to move the top and the right, the top back, and the right face down, and the top again to the right, and this time we're going to move the front face, the top we'll put back, and then the front face we put back as well, and now you can see it's popped right in. Okay, now is there any other ones? If we look, our whole middle row is complete. So we now have the bottom, first row, second row complete. Okay, so our next step is to get the yellow on top. We want to get across, and it looks like we already have it, so that's good. And and then we'll work on the corners, and then we'll work on these final edge pieces. Okay, so as you can see here in stage 5, it says, look, if you already have a cross, which we do, you are going to proceed to the second step of stage 5. If you didn't, and you only had one, then you would follow stage 2. And if you had yellows that look like that, which is this right here, then you could follow the stage 3 row. And if you had just a line going across, then you could follow the step 4. But we have the cross, so we're going to proceed to the next step. All right, so this is the second step of stage 5. Okay, and it says we have a cross, and if we have a cross, it doesn't matter what the cross looks like. Actually, look, it says we have, if one corner is yellow, is matched, and it looks like this, what I call the fish, looks like that, then you want to position the cube to look just like this, and then do this step. Okay, and we're going to do this step multiple times. Okay, so again, our yellow is our top, and right now orange is our face, our front face, and we're just going to follow this step. So right face up, top face to the left, right face down, top face to the left, right face up, top face to the left, once, twice, and then right face down. Okay, now we look, what do we have? Oh, there's our fish, and we get the fish in the right place. And now we do the step again. Right face up, top face over, right face down, top face over, right face up, top face over, 1, 2, and back down. And there's our top. Okay, so now we have our yellow top, and we want to work on, which is our goal. And now the next stage is to get our corners. Okay, so this corner actually works. It matches. This corner is not matching. That corner's not matching, and that corner's not matching. But wait a minute, I got 2 oranges, so let me turn this. Okay, now I actually have that corner to match and this corner to match. So I have 2 correct corners, and I have 2 incorrect corners. Okay, so the way we want to do, what we want to do is we want to put the correct corners in the back, and then the 2 front corners we're going to work on. Okay, so when we position the 2 correct ones in the back, then we can just simply follow this step here. Okay, so we're going to follow the step. This is the back face once, back face twice, front face, back face again, back face twice, front face, or right face, and we turn it over. Okay, so now you can see I've got one side that's completed. And then I have the top is completed, so I have 3 edges that are not complete. Otherwise, the other 4 corners now are all complete. Okay, so we're moving on to the next The next page is the final one. Okay, so when we're looking at this yellow top, blue needs to move to here. So if I'm looking at this yellow, and I'm going to say, okay, blue needs to do this. It needs to do this rotation. Okay, and then I look over here and I see, okay, that's this rotation. So it's this bottom step that I need to make. Okay, so I start here. Blue is my face. I put the finished end on the back and I work on the front. Okay, and then this blue is going to move to here. So as I follow this bottom step here. Ready, go. Okay, so the front face, 1, 2. Then I move that over, the top over, down, left face, right face, front face, back up, left face, right face. There's my blue. And I turn. And voila. And there it is, the finished cube. Now I told you you could do it. I told you could do it inside of 15 minutes. That's it. That's the final step. Okay, so the final step of completing the Rubik's Cube. It's simple, it's easy. Follow the instructions. You can do it. Again, just use the solution guide and it will walk you right through this process. It's going to give you confidence, it's going to make you feel good, and you're going to put a smile on your face when you complete this for your very first time. Follow these instructions. Use my video over and over again to help you as you do each of these steps if you need to, or just simply use the solution guide. It works really well. Okay, thanks guys. Now that Dan can, you can too.